Okay, sa absence naman po tayo. Pag ang isang taon nawala, may tatlo pong scenarios dyan na mag-a-apply, no, yung civil code. Pwedeng provisional measures in case of absence, pwede pong declaration of absence, pwede pong presumption of death. Ano po ang pagkakaiba ng tatlong ito? Sa period po, no? Sa period ng absence. Kasi po ang isang tao, pag naging absent, hindi siya automatic absentee. Magiging po siyang absentee kapag na-comply na yung period under the civil code. Pag nawala siya, 1 day pa lang, no? Hindi automatic absentee na siya. Hindi automatic presumptively dead na siya. Okay? So, titingnan po natin yung periods, no? Anyway, let's start, no? So, ito pong provisional measures in case of absence. Kailan po nangyayari to? Ayan, no? Nakasulat. He disappears from his domicile, his whereabouts unknown, and he did not leave an agent to administer his property. Wala pong sinabing period. Okay? 1 day pa lang, biglang nawala sa bahay, hindi alam kung asan, hindi rin nag-iwan ng agent ng kanyang property. Provisional measures in case of absence po tayo. Tapos nakalagay po dyan, the same rule shall be observed when under similar circumstances, the power conferred by... Ay, di pala. Iba pala yun. Next tayo sa declaration of absence naman tayo. Dito po, meron ng period. 2 taon na having elapsed without any news about the absentee or since the last or since the receipt of the last news. And 5 years in case the absentee has left a person in charge of the administration of his property. So paano po natin ipagkorelate ang dalawa? Ito pong provisional measures in case of absence na wala lang kabod. Pag declaration of absence, so ibig po sabihin, pag nawala lang kabod, naging absent kabod, hindi pa siya absentee. Sa provisional measures muna tayo. Kailan po siya magiging absentee talaga? O, kailangan mo ng 2 taon o 5 taon as the case may be. Okay? 2 years kapag wala talagang balita or since last the balita. Or 5 years kapag nag-iwan siya ng agent sa kanyang property. Okay? Who can ask for the declaration of absence? No? Ito. Spouse present and so on. Just read this. Okay? Now, sa administration of the property of the absentee po, ang preference po dito ay asawa ang magmamanage. The spouse present shall be preferred when there is no legal set. If there is no spouse, any competent person may be appointed by the court. No? The same way din kapag legally separated na sila. Any competent person. Okay? So, also ulitin natin, no? Administration po ang tawag dito. Remember that administration is different from ownership. Acts of administration are different from acts of ownership. That's why, ang pwede lang niyang gawin, i-administer yung property. Ano po example? Short-term leases lang. Pag nag-long-term lease ka kasi, act of ownership yun. So, pag short-term lease, valid yan. Kapag act of ownership yan, unenforceable yan. No? So, we will matatakil po yan sa Oblicon later on. Ulitin na lang natin paano mapag-iba ulit yung provisional measures in case of absence at saka declaration of absence sa period. Yung isa, disappearance pa lang. Hindi mo pwedeng sabing absentee na siya. Yung pangalawa, pwede mo na sabihin absentee na siya because of the period that elapsed. Next tayo, presumption of death. Ito, usually natatanong sa bar. Kasi yung presumption of death, hindi lang po siya relevant sa civil code, relevant din po siya sa family code. Okay, so sa civil code po, normally natatanong ito sa wills and succession. Sa family code naman, sa remarriage, no? Purposes of remarriage. O paano pag nawala ang asawa? Which we will also tackle later on talaga in depth sa family code kasi very important yung presumptive death na yan. Death sa family code, no? Yung ano yan, yung sa well-founded belief. No? We will tackle this further later on. Anyway, judicial declaration of presumptive death is only required if the present spouse intends to remarry. Okay, for purposes of remarriage, kailangan po ng judicial declaration of presumptive death. It is not necessary for the opening of succession or appointment of administrator or executor. Okay? So, tingnan natin ulit. Yung pong provisional measures in case of absence, kailangan ng judge. Yung pong declaration of absence, kailangan ulit ng judge. Ayan, no? You get the point, no? Ayan. May ask for the declaration. So, i-ask mo yung declaration of absence sa court, no? Tandaan niyo po, ang presumptive death, hindi po palaging kailangan ng judicial declaration. One instance lang po kailangan ng judicial declaration of presumptive death. For remarriage lang po kasi sinabi sa family code. Pero for other instances, hindi natin kailangan ng judicial declaration para magkaroon ng presumption of death, no? So kung sa provisional measures in case of absence, kailangan ng judge, ng declaration ng judge. Sa declaration of absence, kailangan ng declaration ng judge. Sa presumption of death po, hindi kailangan. Lapse of period of time lang po, pwede na nating makonsider na ang isang tao ay presumptively dead na. For purposes of opening of succession, for purposes of appointment of an administrator executor. Why? Kasi nga, mag-appoint ka ng administrator or executor kapag na-open yung succession. So, just the lapse of period, pwede na yan. Okay, so, kung isipin nyo po, aba, edi mas maganda pala, intayin na lang yung period at saka na lang mag-open ng succession. Pwede. You can say that, no? You can say that. Kahit na hindi na mag-file beforehand ng declaration of absence. Eh di kung gusto nila ng mas madali lang, hindi ganun kahirap yung proceedings, o di hintayin na lang yung period. O saka na lang siguro mag-open ng succession. Tama naman yung argument na yun, no? Okay. So, sa presumption of death, ano po ang periods as provided under the Civil Code? Iba po yung periods later on, no? For purposes of remarriage under the Family Code. We will tackle it there. Okay? Periods there. No? Dalawa din kasi periods doon. So, general rule is for all purposes excluding succession, 7 years. All purposes including succession, iba-iba po. 10 years, 5 years, 4 years. Pag 10 years, uh, the absentee shall not be presumed dead for the purpose of opening succession till after an absence of 10 years. Pero pwede maging 5 years yan for all purposes including succession kapag the absence happened after the age or the disappearance happened after the age of 75 years old. No? 4 years kapag the absence was due to uh, he became absent. Ayan. A person who has been in danger of death. No? So, he was absent while being in a danger of death. Okay? So, okay. So, ulit tayo ulit. In general, excluding succession, 7 years. Pag gusto nating isali succession, 10 years. Actually, ayan, no? Tapos pwedeng 5 years kapag at the age of 75. All purposes. Tapos 4 years kapag may danger of death. Okay? All purposes din, including succession. So, nung po tayo sa danger of death, ano po ang mga nakasulat dyan? Vessel lost during sea voyage, airplane missing while in transit, no? 4 years. In the armed forces, who's taken part in war. Missing for 4 years. O, attorney, paano pag hindi naman siya Armed Forces of the Philippines, sabihin natin. Pero alam kong nakatira siya doon sa siege, no, sa siege, doon sa war area, sa war zone, doon siya nakatira. And it was already 4 years since the last time that I was able to communicate with him. O, ganun. Hindi namin alam, no? Huli namin alam sa kanya, nandun siya doon sa giyera. O, 4 years ba? 7 years? Ano ba? 10 years? Ano ba? 4 years pa din po. Kasi po, doon tayo papasok sa third paragraph. A person who has been in danger of death under other circumstances and his existence has not been known for 4 years. Dito po papasok, no? Parang ito po catch-all provision under Article 391. Danger of death, other circumstances. No? Ayan. Example no, nasa war zone, hindi naman armed forces. Danger of death pa din yun, di ba? Nawala yung kotse na lang bigla, hindi mo alam kung saan napunta, lumubog sa dagat, no? Na-aksidente, lumubog sa dagat, hindi na alam kung asan. 4 years. Danger of death. So we get the point there, no? We get the point there. Okay. So what if the absentee who was presumed dead reappears? What are the effects? Pakibasa na lang po. He shall recover his property from the heirs in the condition it may be found. So ibig po sabihin, hindi sabihin natin nasira siya, no? So nung hindi pa siya namamatay, hindi pa siya namamatay. Nung hindi pa siya natin presumptive, hindi pa nagkakaroon ng presumption of death, maganda yung condition ng kotse, no? Parang brand new. Nung nakabalik siya nung nalaman na buhay pala siya, nag-reappear, yung kotse sira-sira na, 100,000 na yung yung tinakbo, kupas na yung pintura, and so on. Maraming gasgas. Pwede ba niyang ihabla for damages yung heirs dahil nasira sa sakyan niya? Hindi. He shall recover the property from the heirs in the condition it may be found. Alam niyo po kung bakit? Kasi assume po na ang may ownership na po ng property, nung kotse, nung siya ay naging presumptively dead, yung heirs na. So as the owner, 'di ba, ang isa pong right ng isang owner ay to consume, 'di ba? To use the property, 'di ba? Kahit na magkaroon ng depreciation yan, whatever, magkaroon ng wear and tear yan, dahil yung heirs na po ang owner, since presumptively dead na nga presumed dead na nga yung decedent, di ba? Pwede lang i-destroy yan. Pwede nilang sirain yan. Pwede nilang lumain yan. Pwede kasi sila nga yung may ownership na noon. Kaya po, later on, yung absentee, pag nag-reappear siya, hindi niya pwedeng ihabla yung mga heirs niya kasi hindi pinangalagaan yung iniwan niyang property. Kasi once nung iniwan niya, nung na-presume dead siya, property na yun nung heirs. They can do whatever they want with it. Okay? He shall recover the price of any property that was alienated by the heirs or the property that was acquired using that price. So, same, binenta yung kotse, sabihin natin, o yung price nung pinagbentahan, kailangang ibigay dun sa absentee na nag-reappear. However, he cannot claim the fruits rents of his properties from the heir successors in interest. Okay. Okay, basa na lang po ito. We can now go to family code. Okay. So what is marriage? Pakibasa na lang, no? Hindi naman 'yan ang magiging sagot nyo. I cannot find a scenario where kailangan nyo pang sabihin in length yung Article 1. Alam nyo kung bakit? Kasi kung pag-uusapan natin yung same-sex marriage, mas maganda i-quote na lang yung Article 2. Kasi isa pang essential requisite ng marriage is there must be legal capacity between the parties who must be a male and a female. Kung sasagot ako na is same-sex marriage valid or invalid, hindi ko na sasabihin yung Article 1. Sasabihin ko na lang Article 2, yung una. Legal capacity of the parties who must be a male and a female. O di tapos sa usapan, male and female eh. Mas madali intindihin yung one line na yun kasi yung mahaba pang sentence as provided under Article 1. Pero kayo bahala, no? It's your choice. Baka gusto nyo maging bibo talaga sa pagsagot, sabihin nyo na lang, no? Pero skip na natin. Okay? So, can the religious sect of the contracting parties dissolve the marriage? No. The validity of marriage is purely governed by law. Okay? Kasi po, ang marriage po, no? Hindi lang po siya religious right, no? It's a contract, no, which the state is interested in, no? That's why magkakaroon lang po ng dissolution ng marriage as provided under the law, not as provided by the religious sects, no? Okay. So sa essential requisites po tayo, no, legal capacity between the parties who must be a male and a female, and consent freely given in the presence of the solemnizing officer. Consent freely given. Okay. Formal requisites, authority of the solemnizing officer, valid marriage license, marriage ceremony. Okay? So we will correlate this later sa Article 26 paragraph 1. Ano po ang significance nito? Ito pong Article 26 paragraph 1. Ito po yung scenario, paragraph 1 hindi paragraph 2. Paragraph 2, important din, pero different topic yan. Paragraph 1 po, ito yung Ito po yung kailangan nating malaman if marriage between Filipinos was solemnized abroad. Parehong Pinoy. Oh, nagpakasal sa Indonesia. Ano ang mag-govern? Okay? Kailangan po nating i-factor in ang Article 26 paragraph 1 para dito, no?